Now we talked about the R-to-R interval with the heart rate variability and why it's so important, right? Now, if you take a look at these numbers, the right side, low frequency or high frequency, that's what this all means. Don't get into the weeds with this. This is all data that's used to make this graph here, okay? Now, when we take a look at this graph, and I'll put it on the board for everybody. This is the sympathetic nervous system, and then this is the parasympathetic nervous system. And we have positive 1 through 4, and then negative 1 through 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then over here we have positive 1, 2, 3, 4, and negative 1, 2, 3, 4. Positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, 2, negative 3, negative 4. All right. Now, if we take a look at this zone is an elite athlete. Now, if you take a look at this, their sympathetic nervous system tone, so they're yang, this is their yin, right? This is yin on this whole entire side, and then this is yang on this whole entire side, okay? Tracking with me so far? When we have an elite athlete, if they're in this zone, they have decreased sympathetic tone. So another word for decreased sympathetic tone is stress. The higher the number is here, the more stress somebody has. The lower the number here, no stress, or less stress, I should say. I'm going to erase that because nobody has no stress, but less stress. Following with me so far? The higher the number here on this axis, the more parasympathetic tone they have. If they're more on this side, the less parasympathetic tone. So when we look at an elite athlete that is on this side of the equilibrium on this side, the parasympathetic side, they have less stress, but really good adaptive potential with the parasympathetic nervous system. Track with me so far? Now when we get into this zone, this is actually a normal healthy zone up here. Healthy. That's where we kind of want to be, okay? Now, if you look here, they have a positive amount of parasympathetic stress, right? Or parasympathetic nervous system load, and they have a positive amount of sympathetic stress. So they have stress, but they're able to handle it because there's enough parasympathetic nervous system involvement to be able to manage that. The parasympathetics have good tone, okay? All right? Even though the sympathetic nervous system is elevated, it can be managed by the tone of the parasympathetic nervous system. You tracking with me? Now, when we go to this zone, look what happens. We have high stress and low parasympathetic tone. Tracking with me? So if we have number 1, it will be mild, moderate, number -2, and then severe will be -3.
So he's almost all severe on this sheet here, because he's a
Correct.
-3 and a +3.
Correct.
So he's almost to the end of his
Correct. Correct. So these people, and this would be almost every case we get in the door here, they have high stress, right? And low parasympathetic nerve or low yin.
So not able to.
So the yin is deficient.
And the yang is excess.
And yang is excess.
Burning the candle both ends.
Yeah, burning the candle both ends, that's correct. Now this, if I'm here guys, where I'm at a 4 and a -4, how bad is that?
So you can't even recover from anything. Or it's.
Yeah, their ability to recover. And these are the people that need 30, 40, 50, 60 visits of acupuncture and massage. Okay? So that's why this is so important for us to take a look at this. Once we see this graph, we're like, you know what, this person has to see us for a long period of time. And then as clinicians, we need to sit down with it and be like, listen, this is what your heart rate variability is telling us. You need at least 30 visits with us.
And it seems like that realm is even more important because they're able to be fixed in that realm as opposed to dropping into the other.
All right, so I'm happy, that was a really good point. So now, what if they go into this realm? They have negative parasympathetic tone, and they have a negative sympathetic tone.
Sounds like no, the adrenals aren't even working.
So this is adrenal fatigue, which we test for in the hair tissue test. And this is, so that's, the adrenals are completely shut down and very low vagal tone or parasympathetic nervous system tone. So then the questions we need to start asking as natural medical providers is, how do we increase and how do we improve this?
Can
So I have,
somebody be improved at that stage, or is that really
okay.
the most difficult?
This is very chronic diseases.
Okay.
Very chronic diseases. This is before those very chronic diseases that we talked about earlier become manifested. So they're probably undiagnosed here.
So some of the people that are diagnosed with things may just very well fall into that bottom.
Well, if like this is before like a potential risk of a MI, myocardial infarction,
Okay.
CVAs, chronic immune challenges, that stuff. Like stuff that we as medical professionals, we could prevent that from happening, but very hard for us to treat after the fact. Just like preparing for war is futile if the war already began, right? The disease already manifested. That's why the heart rate variability is so important for us to do on a routine basis, so we know how much we're actually helping these people. Because if we keep on treating them and they're still here, we should discharge them. You need to see an MD. Now, Dr. Hahn, you brought up a good point. What if they had a regular heartbeat and they were in the zone? That's when I'd be like, listen, do me a favor. I want you to get cleared before you see me. Go see your MD. If they're here and they have the regular heartbeat, it's typically a magnesium deficiency at that point. And if it's here and it's closer to like this region in this zone, like a -2 and a +2, that's pretty okay. I mean, we see that often, and those are the people that we treat. We treat here. Most people are here that we see. Some people will see down here. And we just gotta be mindful of those people that are not responding, that we need to have, we might need to refer them out. Which is great because it gives us, this is a tool that gives us the opportunity to really behave like medical professionals. I'm not afraid to refer out. If it's out of my scope and I don't think I can help, I'm referring out.
Now, does it make a difference for the lying down and the upright if they fall into different, like if the lying down is higher or lower, does it
So
make that
say
much?
they were lying down here,
Right.
and when they stood up, they went up to here. Yes, it does make a difference. Yeah, because this is saying that in standing, they have high stress of the sympathetic nervous system and low parasympathetic or vagal nerve tone.
Okay.
Okay, that's what that's saying. But lying down, they can recover, which is great because if they have the ability to recover, they have the ability to heal.
Just work
Their
on.
yin is a little healthier, their yang is out of whack.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So then we have to balance the yang. All right, so I went through a few things. Now, how do we improve the parasympathetic nervous system? So I'm gonna make a list and hopefully you guys could add to it. Number 1, acupuncture. Number 2, vagal nerve stimulator.
This is parasympathetic, right?
This is parasympathetic. So, parasympathetic activation. So that's these people that are on this continuum going this way. Your Chinese herbs. The new product we have called Calms. It's a great product to activate the PNS. Massage activates the PNS. Deep breathing. So what are some other things that we could add to this list?
Meditation.
Meditation, what else? Qigong?
Yeah.
What else?
Music therapy.
Music. What else?
Time spent in nature.
Time spent in nature. What else? Be around family, right? Like things like that fill your cup. So we want to consistently think about filling our cups up. All right? Things that we love to do. And in fact, when we do this, we're actually activating the right brain. So how can we reduce the stress? Reduce stress. I'm gonna make a list and you guys can add to it, okay? Reduce stress. So that's this guy, the sympathetic nervous system. They're 1, 2, or 3 up, right? And they're over in this region, right? That's a stress response. So then the first several are the same. Vagal nerve stimulator, calms, Chinese herbs, massage, Chinese herbs. Now, this is where it changed a little bit, removing heavy metals.
I thought you were gonna say remove them from their family.
And support mineral deficiencies. I would say vitamin mineral deficiencies. Okay, and we're gonna get back to this later when we go over the hair tissue test. This is why the hair tissue test is so important. Okay, because these two guys are huge stressors subconsciously and subclinically inside the body. All right, so gut health is a huge stressor. So leaky gut syndrome. And then what about biomechanical stressors? Yeah. So chiropractic care could help with that. PT could help with that. Massage could help with that. I already mentioned before. And obviously acu could also help with that. But you see how now we're looking at these cases are coming in the door and we get the heart rate variabilities and their sympathetic tone is through the roof. The parasympathetics are underactive. Then we're like, listen, I think you need to do some corrective exercises with one of our PTs here at the same time. Or go see one of our chiros.
As much as that first page that we normally go over is good, this thing is like a whole new world to me. It's like, wow, if I had known, could have looked at that. I don't have to say anything to the patient. Just looking at that could have helped me explain a little bit.
Exactly. That's why when I started reviewing this again, and Matt, thank you so much for really getting me to do this. There's missing pieces that I left out.
This is like such a great thing.
Yeah. And then deep breathing down here, right? So what else can we add to this? Pretty much everything you said over here,
Yeah.
right? The only thing that really, sympathetic tone, you can't really improve it with removing heavy metals. Because removing heavy metals are typically depleting in nature. So it's gonna deplete that.
Also stress, nutrition on the other side too, because
Yeah.
of how they're eating.
Well, nutrition on both, right? So yeah, so nutrition and nutrition.
And exercise.
What's that?
Exercise.
Yeah, exercise. Good. And we can put exercise here because, oh yeah, so let's talk about this real quick. So let's talk about workout
Right.
versus work in. This is all our internal work. This is our external work. So like our Kung Fu, our Tai Chi, our Qigong, our yoga, our meditation, our deep breathing, that, our working out, our strength training, our high intensity training, our bodybuilding, whatever it is, falls in this category.
How about reducing use of electronics?
Yeah, EMF. Yeah, EMF. Yeah, those are stressors. These are all the rocks in the backpack we're talking about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Does that make more sense than, hey guys, I want you to know heart rate variability in everybody? That's my fault. What I should have done is sat down with each one of you and just went through this so that you have the conceptual reason why I want everybody to get the heart rate variability done. Go ahead.
Question, if we decide to use this wellness score thing, and we can